So in this video, I think this would be a very different type of uh, video format, but this would be correlated with my fitness journey. Um, this would be a story time. The time that I became bullied to becoming friends with my bullies because um, I think we all know that majority majority of the time, 9 times out of 10, that would be, or 9.5 out of 10, that would be a very generous thought that bodybuilders can fight. I mean, we know that big muscles don't win fights because got exposed in the 90s, was especially the rise of mixed martial arts, Vale Tudo. If you're Portuguese, no holds barred, cage fight in which the Ultimate Fighting Championship was born, and the introduction of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu came to rise in the 90s and then exposed that not all the time the bigger guy, the one with the big muscles, the big traps, the big biceps, the big arms, the big huge chest, wins all the time. But in this video, I'll be discussing why I think, I agree that big muscles don't win fights, but it stops and it repels bullying. Because if you know my history, I was a very skinny kid. I was very weak. I was sick all the time. Even at junior high, I was, I think, 5'3" I thought that was my peak height at the time, and I thought that it was very tall for junior high school version of myself. I don't know, maybe below 49 kilos, 45 kilos at the time. And easy to say that I was small and weak because as a freshman and a transferee at the alma mater I used to attend to, obviously there would be bullies, and yes, there was. And at that time, I stayed low key as much as I can, but you know, it's inevitable. You know, every individual, every kid has at least have an experience with bullying. Um, I gotta say I'm very lucky because the only thing I get to brag about during my high school and even my college is that I never get involved in fights inside and outside school. And of course, I'm gonna tell you, if you are a young individual, you're still in high school, um, both junior and senior, bullying sucks, and street fights just sucks as much as bullying. Um, I get to brag that I never get involved in street fights. I mean, there were close calls, um, because as a young man with raging hormones and added in the extra fragile egos, most especially into young boys, you know, fights tend to happen so very easily, like in a snap, that staying low key actually helps. That one kid that shies away at the corner. I'm one of those kids, but not to the point that I was considered the weird one. I tend to socialize as well. Um, some some new faces tend to approach me and befriend me, both boys and girls. Okay, and I think it's a shame that you would waste away in the corner of your classroom not socializing, because come on, we're social creatures. Humans are social creatures. No man is an island, right? Um, the point is, when you're alone, and then added to the fact that you're small, you're weak, pinpoints you as an easy prey to bullies, and sometimes, yeah, I get targeted by bullies, but not in the point that it turned into a physical altercations. Most of the time, it's verbal, like, those high school insults you hear all the time. Of course, I cannot say some of them because it's 2024. Um, the things I get, the insults I get all the time will probably get this video turned down if I say some. But point being small and weak means you're an easy prey. I mean, even in nature, the weak, the sick, the old, those who tend to be alone gets picked on by predators, and the predators in human society are bullies. Um, uh, so I get to be bullied most of the time. Well, not all the time. There's this one kid. I don't know what's his problem with me. My my utmost physical presence in the vicinity makes him bully me. I don't know. Um, he used to be my classmate. He was he was actually shy and kind of me at first. Then it turned out like every time I just stand or just be next to him, he'd be just he'd throw tantrums at me, and I don't know. Probably that's the reason why I kind of became a bully, because being bullied may cause you to become a bully too. And I would tell you the fact that it was true in my case, because I was the weak one. I was bullied and targeted verbally, not physically, thank God. But to the point that I blew off my steam, I also tend to target the other weak, weak and loner individuals at my alma mater, and it became a cycle of hate. And I recommend that if you are getting bullied, of course, seek help on your friends, your family, your siblings, your supervisors, your teachers, your the school administration. It's not There's nothing wrong and shameful in asking and seeking for help. And I would like to also take advantage of this video in promoting anti-bullying, because uh, not all the time uh, bullying can create something wonderful. Like, I would not glamorize and romanticize bullying, but if not for bullying, I would have not discovered martial arts and bodybuilding. But not all the time this would be the same case. So, bullying suck, as Shin Faison as always like to refer to from Fight Tips. Bullying suck, right? I mean, I get to be bullied, and used to be a bully. So stop, seek help. Um, and in my case, I mean, I was a very quiet kid. I never told anyone, not even my friends. Although you could say that, yeah, verbal bullying is not as bad as physical, but the psychological and mental aspect, the negative side effects of bullying, you know, uh, it made me think that I was probably a weak individual if I asked for help. So, I just help myself, and that would be the cue to tell you that because of bullying, I discovered the way of the iron. But firstly, it was actually calisthenics. So, of course, um, it's in human nature. If you're bigger and stronger, it means you don't get bullied that much. You don't get picked on that much. on public places. It could be in school, on your work, so on and so forth. So I started in, I think it was in 2014, 2015. I did um, a simple body weight training routine, just doing push ups and abs. I think also added in the fact that I was also getting bullied by I used to have a manipulative girlfriend at that time that she should she said that she would leave me if I don't have abs. No, she's probably guilt tripping me because she knows that I was timid, I was shy, I was physically frail. I think I was so my growth spurt hit in eighth grade and ninth grade. So I was 5 foot 3 inches at seventh grade. Then I exceeded in gaining a lot more inches in my height, which turned from 5 foot 3 inches to 5 foot 8 inches or 5 foot 9. Depends on kind of depends on the uh, measurements. But in my alma mater, I was actually 5 foot 9 inches. I don't know. So I stopped there. Up until now I'm 5 foot 8 or 5 foot 9 inches. I don't know. So I started doing lots of push-ups at home, in secret in my room, then partnering it with abs, whether it could be crunches, sit-ups, leg raises, oblique crunches, Russian twist, so on and so forth. And that was the beginning of my fitness journey. And although I used to watch bodybuilding, weightlifting routines, I never started lifting weights until the year of 2017, until a friend or classmate of mine introduced me during my senior high. And I never looked back then. I used to mix um, I used to mix weights with calisthenics, and then improving yourself actually helps in your self confidence and gives your ego a little boost, and that actually happened to me. Not just physically, you should improve yourself in social aspect, in your verbal aspect. Of course, self hygiene. I mean, especially if you're a guy, you always you get to relate with me when you get that swamp effect every time you work out. Of course, take a shower, take care of your skin, your hair, your teeth, right? I mean, girls don't like guys with bad breath or whomever your preference to. I mean, if you don't like girls or guys with bad hygiene, why don't you get why don't you uh, get your self hygiene in check as well? So that would be one of my main point in improving and uh, decreasing the chances of you getting bullied. Then self improvement intimidates the fuck out of your bullies insecurities. This is this is actually true because once I get to improve myself physically, the mood change on some of my bullies, like even the one I referred to earlier, like instantly he's very shy and he's very shy again. He's friendly again. He wants to be my friend. Like I don't know why. He likes to hug me all the time. I don't know why. Probably then he referred to me that you know my muscles got bigger, and I concluded that just because I was small and weak back then, he he thought he had the right to bully me verbally because he thought I won't fight back. And thank God, thank goodness I did not fight back because I mean in this corrupt system of schools, most of the time, 10 out of 10 the school would most likely side with the bullies every time the bullied fights back. The bullied fights back. So yeah, that's actually right. So you know, I helping yourself sometimes actually helps. I mean, duh. So the dynamic between me and my former bullies change. They don't like to uh, keep eye contact with me. I mean, they don't. They actually know. They, I don't know how to fight. I mean, again, the saying bodybuilding don't how to. As a bodybuilder, I refer myself as a bodybuilder, a weightlifter, a fitness enthusiast. Just because I lift weights, that doesn't mean I know how to fight. I mean, yeah, I practice shadow boxing a lot, but I never get to spar. I never get to have drills on the mitts. I mean, I just get to hit the heavy bag and do shadow boxing. That's it. And um, their dynamic change. They don't want to pick on me. They don't want to throw insults at me. Ever since I actually started to gain weight from, I think it was 40 plus kilos to 59 kilos at my 10th grade, then I was floating around 60 to 68 kilos at my senior high and freshman college. So that's it. Um, Again, as I mentioned, it's a front. Don't expect to be an expert in martial arts, but physicality says a lot, and you know, there's also the thing that martial artists tend to have as a coping mechanism, that just because you lift weights doesn't mean you know how to fight. You know, they start beefing with bodybuilders, strongmen, powerlifters. It's a coping mechanism. Like, come on. But you know, there that's actually also where the trend starts, that if you do bodybuilding, you're homosexual. I don't know, those types of high school insults. You know, bodybuilding is gay, lifting weights is for pussies, so on and so forth. I mean, if you're a wrestler, I mean, you get to lift weights. If you're a boxer, you're doing push-ups, pull-ups. That's also lifting weights. You're lifting your own body weight. So I don't know what your coping mechanism is. I mean, having the physicality and having the skill. I mean, that's killing two birds with one stone. I mean, Francis Ngannou, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Karelin. I think that was his name. This Greco-Roman wrestler from Russia. He lifts weights. He lifts kettlebells. He also know how to fight, right? He also know how to handle another man against their own will, and who doesn't want that, right? As a man like me, um, you know, being being physically intimidating and knowing how to fight at the same time. I mean, who doesn't want that? Um, and I think this also correlates with, I think, the Art of War from Sun Tzu. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. That are a threat, if you are a threat, even without trying violence or doing any type of violence, you've already won. And this was also, uh, or I should say that just because, or my bad, your physical intimidation already says a lot, that if the guy from the other side is telling you that you you are physically intimidating but you still don't know how to fight, it means you've already won, because you haven't done anything violent. And um, this would also conclude the end of this, or the closing of this video, that bodybuilding can save you from bullying just as much as doing martial arts. Although martial arts are a bonus, it's inevitable, it's mandatory that we should know, all of us, both young girls and boys, should learn how to fight and de escalate violence, verbally and physically and even psychologically. And that would be it for the end of my story time. Um, if you have any questions, if you have any similar stories like mine, um, please do comment down below. If you agree or disagree with this video or my statement that big muscles don't win fights but it does stop bullying, comment down below. And if you happen to like this video, give it a thumbs up, um, give it a like, uh, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next time. So thank you for watching and have a good day.